talk about defining respect. I gave my definition.
Yeah.
But as a teacher in a classroom, how would you define respect?
Respect can be defined as kindness, admiration, or reverence for something. That's when I was doing the blog post. I kind of looked up the dictionary definition of it. But when I was typing, I thought, okay, I purchased my car, right? I know how much my car cost. I know how much it costs to maintain it. So I respect my car because I know the value of it.
So let me ask you a question. Have you ever rented a car?
Yes.
And do you drive it the same?
Well, I drive it differently than my husband drives it. I will tell you that.
So your husband drives the rented car differently than he drives his own car.
Absolutely.
Maybe that's a male thing.
I think it is because I was the one who handed my credit card over.
And I think that the reason I bring it up is because when you don't own something, you don't always treat it the same way. And I remember I had this car, I rented a car, and it had this automatic stick shift. You had no clutch.
Right.
And I wanted to play with it. Like,
well, yeah.
how do you do this thing, right? And I thought, man, I need to slow down and not, I don't want to damage the car. But, if it was mine, I'm like, don't do that, right? And so I like that idea of ownership. Like, that's when it becomes respectful.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, to think, a car, it's just a car when it comes down to it. How much more valuable are the people in our lives? And so getting that across to the students, I think, is really important, and across to everybody at the school or at the venue where you're at. Just having that common definition of respect and talking through exactly what respect means is important.
So in your classroom, how would you define, you get a new classroom.
I do.
You get a new class this year. So how are you going to define respect?
I think,
Putting you on the spot now.
I know, you are. I think it goes back to what we like to call the golden rule. Treat others the way you want to be treated. If I am going to give you respect, then I expect respect in return. That's a hard thing to say.
I expect respect. That's a tongue. I expect respect.
So I think kind of the golden rule is the simplest way to break it down.
Right. And I like the word reverence, even though that's not a word we probably would teach kids, but that's why I use the word honor in my definition. To honor people, treat people as if they matter. That's how I break it down.
Yeah.
Treat people and things as if they matter, because they do. And you want to be treated as you matter. That goes to the golden rule. So to honor people, rules, and things is just a way to show respect.
I think,
Putting you on the spot now.
I know, you are. I think it goes back to what we like to call the golden rule. Treat others the way you want to be treated. If I am going to give you respect, then I expect respect in return. That's a hard thing to say.
I expect respect. That's a tongue. I expect respect.
So I think kind of the golden rule is the simplest way to break it down.
Right. And I like the word reverence, even though that's not a word we probably would teach kids, but that's why I use the word honor in my definition. To honor people, treat people as if they matter. That's how I break it down.
Yeah.
Treat people and things as if they matter, because they do. And you want to be treated as you matter. That goes to the golden rule. So to honor people, rules, and things is a way to show respect. And
Absolutely.
I think for me, that part of ownership is really important, because I want kids to take, hey, this is your classroom.
Right.
This is our classroom. We don't want to live in a dirty classroom or a dirty environment. We want to have a place that's pleasing for everyone. And we don't want to, even when it comes to treating people with kindness, we don't want to come to school and come to a classroom where people are being bullied and mean and nasty. No, we're taking ownership of this.
Yeah.
And I think as you do that, that can eliminate some of the bullying stuff that's going on, because this is our school, it's our classroom.
Yeah. And I found with kids, candid conversations are key. So just having really honest conversation with kids is important, because a lot of times as adults, we kind of, I don't know how to say it other than we almost talk in circles.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And so we don't just say what we mean a lot of times. And with kids, if we can just say what we mean, for example, I expect you to clean the classroom because it's where we all have to be every day. And so my rules at the end of the day is that everybody cleans the classroom. And if I just say that to them, they're like, oh, yeah, sure, makes sense.
I think for me, that's been one of the things that I think has made me successful working with kids, is being direct with them.
Yeah,
and treating them as their adults. I mean, I don't talk down to kids. I don't talk at them. Hey, this is what I expect. This is what we need to do. And then I think the second part of that is modeling, which we'll get to in our later conversation, because I want them to see that in me. And when they see that, then I think they are more apt to take ownership of it as well, because they see someone else doing it and they're willing to do it as well.